Get this going, make sure that everything fires up as intended. Seems to be. It's showing me live right now. Okay. That's encouraging. Let's...
Good morning, Philip. Time for an oil change. Remember last time?
I'd rather not.
Took 3 hours. You forgot Little Henry's video game. You're not as entertaining as a video game, Philip.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Get an expert oil change in about 15 minutes with no appointment needed.
Thanks for coming in.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
All right, folks, a little bit of a change of pace here tonight within the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR series, but it'll be nice to have a bit of fun all the same here as we head into what, again, should be a fun evening for the Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race within the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series Season 7, presented by, of course, Valvoline Instant Oil Change. And that brings us to North Wilkesboro Speedway here tonight in North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. You're familiar with my voice by now. I'm Jordy Carraher, of course, on the play-by-play, but I'm not alone here tonight. I got a couple of folks with me here in the booth. Joining me is Season 7 driver and soon-to-be Chase for the Earl Ross Cup participant, Jared Ireland. You normally see him in the number 13 out of Eudora, Kansas, but tonight he joins me in the booth. How are you, Jared?
Good, Jordy. I'm really looking forward to see what the guys can put on for show-wise for us tonight. I think we got some definite interesting tidbits to get into before this race, and I just can't wait to call it.
Absolutely, and obviously you could have been part of this as well, but you opted to pull back on account of the ongoing, recovery from the hand issue that was going on there not too long ago. So first off, how are you doing?
Man, yesterday was a really bad day. My hands really, I'm having a lot of problems at the end of the day with my hands. So I thought tonight, North Wilkesboro is already quite the bear. Demands a lot of the driver, and I felt that another week to recover, let the hand kind of relax tonight, get ready for the chase. That was a good call for me. But I'm doing good, man. I'm just excited to be here with you.
That's great. I'm happy to have another voice here on the broadcast as well, but also it's going to be a trio here this evening because with this being an all-star race, we're going to have sort of an unintended peek behind the curtain as well, because We're also going to be joined by, man, usually my race control, but you might know him better as the Season 5 Earl Ross Cup champ. So, Corbin McCauley, how are you doing tonight, sir?
We are doing fantastic. We're ready for a great show, great display of our all-star talent, and yeah, hopefully everything goes smooth and race control doesn't bug up like it usually does.
Well, again, now everybody knows who to call if and when that happens. So, yeah.
Yep, I'm the scapegoat. I get it.
Yeah, the unintentional doxing, I guess we'll call that for now. But, yeah, hopefully we'll get to see a prime showcase of our talented drivers here this evening. It looks like we've got 11 in the field right now. Some drivers more or less treating it as a bit of an off week as well, headed into the beginning of the Season 7 chase for the Earl Ross Cup beginning next week. And we'll give a quick rundown here of how things are going to work tonight. So things will be divided into 3 segments. We'll go over the specifics of the rules as we reach each segment at different points in the evening here. But yeah, the first segment will be 40 laps, second 35. Final segment will be 30, and there'll be eliminations along the way as well. But a couple of significant notes from just an overall kind of setup and prep perspective here as well. Definitely some changes to what our drivers would be accustomed to normally, and this came into play about midway through Season 4. The drivers don't have a fast repair available, but tonight there will be one in the interest of keeping as many of our drivers in the field as possible here tonight. And we'll have 6 additional tire sets on top of the one they start with, as we see a solid brigade of cars running together here on some of these shots. And the most...
got a party.
Indeed so. And yeah, probably the most significant difference outside of the fast repair. Normally we run on 50% fuel, but tonight you got the whole tank. So Jared, obviously, you know, it's a exhibition race per se, but even being able to kind of plan for it with that full tank as opposed to the 50%, just how much of a difference will that make here over the course of these runs?
You know, I would think it's going to really matter with the handling, right? And so look, you see Mario there. These cars are really, really loose off the corner. So I think 50% fuel versus 100% fuel, having more fuel in the tank, you would hope would keep them a little more planted. But I think with that 700 horsepower, we're seeing that they're definitely going to be spinning those tires off the corner. So tire conservation going to be key. Been seeing 2 to 3 tenths of fall off over 15, 20 laps. So going to be a little strategy. Going to have to save your stuff a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously no transition from day to night to worry about as well, as we've seen for the lion's share of our races here this evening. So yeah, maybe a little peek behind the curtain of, you know, just not having to think about that transition here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, the track temperature right now, 76 degrees, not very hot. So that would tend to favor the driver, right? Giving them more grip. As the drivers go tonight, we should see it rubber in, so it should help give them even more grip. The thing is, it's a hard place to pass, really high speed in the corners. You can be side by side for 4, 5, even 6 laps here, and so definitely a challenge tonight if you're trying to go from the back to the front.
And as you were talking about track temperature, we did throw the current weather conditions up on the stream here as well, and you know, we've got 95% humidity on the track as well, so, or in the area, so could potentially lead to things being a little bit more slippery there as well, as if North Wilkesboro wasn't a big enough bear, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, it doesn't need any help. And I've been watching these drivers for the last 10 minutes and watching them trying to decide, all right, can I put the throttle down here and get by the guy that's on my outside? When they do that, they really have to trust that the car is going to stick. And especially off of 4, these guys are having a really tough time. So they're going to have to manage their stuff to get those passes done.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that we're talking about all these variables in relation to a track that's only 5/8 of a mile, that just tells you, you know, that level of challenge our drivers will face here tonight.
Yeah, I don't see a guy that starts in the back. I don't see how they're just going to be able to march through the field in 20 laps. I think the 11 guys we have here tonight are very, very good drivers. So we could easily see multiple shakeups tonight. As we've seen in practice, many guys are spinning it out easily. So you get one of those, they go to the back. It'll be fun to watch some of these guys try to march back through the field.
Yeah, and of course that brings in the other variable to consider is that, normally we'd be counting caution laps toward our race total. Tonight, not the case. So we could be in for a little bit of a grind here. I know, Jared, you were kind of referencing that off the broadcast a little bit earlier, but I'll get Corbin's take on that as a now, sabbatical filled driver here now, I guess. Just what do you think would it be like to, just have to kind of think about that particular grind as well?
Yeah, I mean, the caution laps is that it's obviously out of their control, right? They control their cars. They're really in control of the race as drivers. So I wouldn't really worry about the caution laps. The good thing is if you have a caution, you don't have to worry about time getting away from you, especially if you have a damaged car, right? So if we have multiple cautions, you can try to come in and fix that car. So if I'm a driver tonight, I'm kind of thinking, let's try to get settled this first run, rubber the track in, see how the car feels, then get into segment 2 and see what you got for the last segment.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see the proverbial rubber hit the road here in about 3 minutes time, as that appears to be what we've got left in this initial session. And then, yeah, while we're chatting about it, we may as well get into some of the particulars in regards to how segment 1 will break down. So let me go ahead and pop that up on our stream here again as practice wraps up here. So again, I mentioned the 40 laps in stage 1. We had a late change to how we kind of set everything up, because originally there were going to be variables with open qualifiers coming in, but yeah, now we've effectively got our field in place. So starting lineup will be determined by the reverse order of the regular season standings to this point. And again, we're 40 laps in this segment. Winner will automatically lock in a spot in the final segment. And it says top 15 there, but again, we only have 11 drivers for this one. So entirely possible it's just a full length run for everybody. We'll have to see what eliminations look like with those numbers. But again, the most important variable you're seeing there, no green, white, checkered in segment 1 or 2. Segment 3.
Sorry to just jump in real quick, but we're not going to be eliminating anyone tonight because we've only got 11 drivers.
That's kind of what I was thinking, and yeah, I appreciate the confirmation from the race control side. But yeah, just to sort of further that last point, no green, white, checkered within segments 1 or 2. There will be unlimited green, white, checkers in segment 3 to absolutely determine that we will have a winner here this evening. And as you can see, cautions that happen within 2 laps of the end of the segment will end said segment, and any remaining laps will be added to segment 3. And you'll see that in our middle segment here as well, as that will bring us down to about a minute remaining here in the practice session. So I'll pose this to both of you guys, as you're both familiar with pretty much everybody in the field here tonight, both as, competitors and, observants as well. Any early predictions as to who either of you think might take this one?
Oof.
I'll take it. If he keeps it clean, and that's an if, I think Blake Thronberg is the guy. I think it comes down to 2 guys, right? I think it's Jordan Kalinian, Blake Thronberg right out the gate that come to first to find. I think Blake has the advantage because I know Jordan doesn't exactly love this place. But the thing that you worry about with Blake is, well, can he keep the nose clean on it? So that would be the two guys I would want to watch. But a dark horse pick tonight, how about that 97? Look at him in practice. Second on the board, showing some speed. Ty Higginbotham, let's see what he's got tonight.
Yeah, shouting out a former Earl Ross Cup champ. In fact, last win within the regular season was at this very track for the 97. So that could be a prophetic shout out there for you, Corbin. What would be your take?
Well, he kind of stole my take. I was going to say the dark horse pick was the 97, and he went and took it right out of my mouth. So that's who I'm going to have to go with tonight.
All right, we'll have to see how this goes here. And yeah, as you can see, everybody's going to be gridding up here shortly. And I believe manual gridding for this just to fix the order here. Correct, Corbin?
The starting lineup of the race is correct. So it'll be correct.
Okay. So yeah, we'll get into that here. Well, while we're waiting for it, why don't we, as we're kind of waiting for the rest of the drivers to grid up, let's go ahead, and are we good to run what we would normally run here, Corbin?
Yes, I'll just there's still a couple guys out. I'm going to get the field to roll, and you can do the starting grid while they're rolling.
Sounds good. All right, so again, for anyone watching here, a little bit of a, kind of behind the scenes of how our communications operates whenever it comes to the production side of things. A lot of different balls to juggle at the same time.
Huh?
Oh, I'm just letting the fine viewers know kind of how this works.
Oh, I know. Threw a little bit of a sly joke in there, but we'll leave it at that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that would have went right over my head. As looks like we have just about everybody gridded up here, maybe missing one or two.
You're all good to roll the starting lineup. We're about to start rolling.
All right, let's go ahead and do just that. You heard the man. So let's go ahead, and if I can, no, that's not the button I'm looking for. Of course, the button just disappears on me whenever I am looking for it here. Oh, starting grid on. That would do it. Right there. So, again, this is going to account for all but one on the grid here, as you can see. So, on pole is the number 97, again, Season 3 Earl Ross Cup champ, the Tornado Alley E-Racing Toyota of Ty Higginbotham out of Kansas City, Missouri. And, again, last win within regular season activity came at this very track a couple of years ago. So 97 might be due for something here. On his outside, we have the number 93 Big T Motorsports Chevy of Tom Janikowski, repping the Gibson Soda Shop livery out of Appleton, Wisconsin. And now we'll move
Beautiful
along.
race car.
Absolutely. And I believe he does his own paint jobs there as well. So shout out to Tommy. As we move on to row 2, we head to the Mid-Pack Motorsports Chevy of John Williams, rocking the number 5 out of Moyock, North Carolina. And on his outside, we take a dip into the GTR family, where we find the number 29 Toyota of Mario Ercolani out of Parsonsfield, Maine. On to row 3 now, and rounding out the top 5 in this first segment, we have the number 12 Toyota of Mike Marini, one of our day ones, one of our OGs, joining us out of Thunder Bay, Ontario this evening. And on his outside, Jared, a guy that's, you might be able to throw a rock at within your own hometown of Eudora, Kansas. Last week's winner at Chicagoland, finally breaking through, the number 4 Hyperdrive Esports Toyota of Mason Tomlinson. On to row.
Monkey off the back. Watch out tonight. Watch out for him.
Something to be said for driving a little freer there, eh?
Yep, absolutely.
And we'll see if that carries over to the playoffs as well, where everybody's going to be trying to dethrone this guy, our reigning Earl Ross Cup champ, Blake Throenberg, in the number 3 Control Alt Defeat Motorsports Chevy out of Graham, North Carolina. And on his outside, we have the second of our tornado alley entries here this evening. And in fairness, the man who came up with our format tonight, the number 1 of CD Mangrum out of Atlanta, Georgia in the Toyota. And on to row 5, assuming I have my numbers right. Yep. We'll go to another one of our day ones, the number 41 GTR Motorsports Ford of Jose Mercado out of Kissimmee, Florida, doing a fantastic job with the added administrative responsibilities this season. And joining him on the outside is the number 60 Warrior Racing Ford of Justin Belmonte, multi-time winner this season, and a guy who just seems to be fast no matter which track we're on. And of course, we've got the guy that everyone's going to have their eyes on in the playoffs, or the chase especially, the 00 of Jordan Kalinian, driving for Control Alt Defeat Motorsports out of Salisbury, North Carolina. I am trying to increment that. It's not quite showing up, but we know he's going to be chasing everybody. So
we're going green this lap.
We are going green this lap, as you can hear from Corbin McCauley. That's usually the voice in my ear, the kind of gazoo on my shoulder, whatever you want to call him. The guy who keeps me in line as we bring it to track side here now. And Ty Higginbotham's going to have control of the field. Again, 40 laps in this opening segment here tonight. And on we go. Tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race is underway. Is absolutely underway, not pacing as the ticker might suggest. And
is it broken again?
I certainly hope not. We'll find out soon enough, I suppose, as we're somehow three wide through 4.
Ooh, be nice, boys. See Blake Thronberg early, trying to get himself up to the front. Not messing around tonight.
No, sir, as we'll hop back to that battle here. Yeah, interesting off the hop there. You saw, Thronberg, I believe Ercolani, and Janikowski very much in that mix as well. And, I think there's something inherently off with this. So
I think the ticker's broken again. Probably going to have to run without it again.
Well, again, hopefully we can figure that one out for playoff
it was
time.
On my computer.
I don't know. I think this computer just might be done with me for a little bit, but we'll see. Maybe the upcoming Labor Day break will help us out after Homestead, Miami next week.
Ooh, Thronberg about losing it off of 4 there.
Indeed, we're still with him, and
almost.
Well, I figured out one thing there. Just reopened the timing screen within the app itself, so at least we have a lap count now. And
the ticker updated. It now says lap 4 of 105.
Yeah, so that was the fix there on it for sure, as Ty Higginbotham continues to lead this one.
Sounds like it's just incredibly laggy for some reason.
As I know we're not still on lap 4. We're probably on, 5 or 6?
Working
7.
Working lap 7 here.
Okay, so
Ty Higginbotham has said, see you later, boys.
Absolutely he has.
Come and catch me.
Again, last win was at North Wilkesboro, so something special about this place for him. As we'll go ahead and do our customary lap 8 shout out to the late great Kyle Busch. Just throw the Forever Rowdy branding there in the bottom right corner. And on we move to lap number 9 now. And again, 40.
I'll tell you what, Jordy. One guy I'm surprised not to be moving. Justin Belmonte. He hasn't really done anything since the start of this race. I really would have thought the number 60 would. This is a good place to fit his eye. I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing him yet. Be watching that tonight.
Yep, that'll definitely be a good shout. And again, during the starting order, we definitely referenced the fact that it feels like he can be fast just about anywhere. So we'll absolutely keep an eye on that with, lack of movement so far. But again, not as much necessarily to play for now that we know there's no eliminations happening, just given the amount of drivers in the field here. So we'll see.
Grunberg up into P2.
Jeez, that's a quick jump there as well.
Yeah, he's peeled 3/10 the last 2 laps, so looks like he's definitely got a strong one tonight.
And we'll see how quickly he can reel in Ty Higginbotham potentially here, as the gap on my board appears to say 1.4 seconds.
Yep.
And again, what you're seeing on the ticker, not reflective of what the actual race is.
It's funny. I noticed if you turned it off and then turned it back on again, it'll update at that point, but then it'll just stop updating.
Yeah, so at the same time, what I'm also doing is, for those unaware, we're using the ATVO overlays here within iRacing. So what I would do is like just close the timing screen and reload that, and that's where the progress point is, or the check-in point, as it were. As we check in. Oh, as Thronberg actually got a little loose there out of the turn. Or midway through.
John Williams holding in third. Got himself a good piece tonight. 15 laps in.
Another North
He's holding
Carolinian.
steady. Yeah. I like it. The 3 guys that, well, I guess Tommy's himself has fallen back, but 2 of the 3 open drivers holding steady in the top 4.
Yeah, great job.
How about that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that just speaks to the, yes, it's a smaller field, but still it speaks to the, overall parity and, baseline level of our drivers here within the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR series. And I mean, Jared and Corbin, you've obviously both been through this for years now. How have you guys sort of seen the parity, grow and evolve over the course of the years?
Insanity.
It's been crazy to see the parity grow. I mean, God, well, I mean, we I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but like that one season where I had all those wins, and then last year I went and had no wins. So I mean, like it's just gone to show how much everyone's grown and how big this series has gotten, and just the quality of talent that we have is unreal.
And I guess that would bring up the other relevant question here, as we're about to head to lap 19 of 105 this evening, but notably in segment 1, that'll bring us almost to halfway in tonight's opening segment of this one. But yeah, just kind of building on what you were just talking about there, Corbin. Obviously, you were in it for so long. What's it been like for you to see that from the outside this year in your different role?
It's been different for sure. I mean, I get obviously when you're racing, you only have your one point of view, so you can only really see what's going on in front of you most of the time. So being able to see the entire field from up in the air and kind of being the guy that watches and makes sure everyone races clean, I mean, it's certainly been different. I've been able to see the different levels of talent that everyone has, and different driving styles, and it's been kind of neat. But there are moments where I miss the driving aspect.
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't, it's not a switch you can just flip off, I would assume. Oh man,
I'm sorry, boys, we got a rock fight for 6th place right now.
That's,
you guys want to?
That's 100% where we are on the stream. Yeah,
these boys have been going at it for a good 5 laps. And Marini's doing a great job of holding it. Oh, looks like he's going to give it there. But Marini was doing such a good job of holding it on the top.
Yeah, and one thing, and I know, Corbin, you've had your, competitive battles, shall we say, with Mike Marini over the years. One thing we know about him, he's not the guy who's going to, give up a position easily, to say the very least. So,
oh no, absolutely not.
Go for it.
He's one of those guys where he will hold his position whether you like it or not. He'll plant his car in the way, and
I think I hit it.
We're heating up. We're heating up for first here.
Yeah,
I was gonna say we have a battle
to heat up.
I'm working my way back we speak.
I've been watching the last couple laps. Watch Blake Thronberg down in 3 and 4 here. Watch him.
Okay.
He really rolls. As I say that, he makes a liar out of me. But he's exiting 4 a good half a lane lower. Look at that.
Yeah,
if you can get a good look at that. this next lap. He's exiting off of 4, about a half a lane lower. We see this at Richmond, right? Austin Dillon likes to run that lane, half a lane lower off of 4, and watch Blake Thronberg here. Let's see if he'll try to turn it down off the wall there. There he comes, getting a good run off of 4.
And Higginbotham with a bit of a bash off the wall there will certainly not help his cause.
Yeah.
And it looked like,
As we know with these cars, it's really hard. The dirty air is real, even at a place like North Wilkesboro. So you see a lot of cars, they kind of have to separate, right, to get the air, as Thronberg takes it.
And almost using Janikowski as a bit of a pick there, perhaps, to grab the position.
Absolutely.
As
Jordy, if I were you, I noticed when you open that live timing window that everything updated. Maybe just keep that open and see what happens.
Yeah, so what happens is I'll sort of explain the... Oh, yeah. So right now I currently have nothing open. Like, I don't have the timing screen open right now, and it looked like it was updating live.
Aha, so it's probably the timing window that's messing everything up.
Okay, so if I...
Do you want to well, I guess with the timing screen, open up the driver and camera window so you can still control that stuff.
That's literally what I just did, yeah.
Yeah, and if you want, I'll share my race control screen so you can see the live timing.
There we go. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, a live diagnosis of a software problem. As we...
I'll tell you what, Jordy, you want to talk about the race within the race, right?
Yes.
I'm looking at the driver back here in 10th. CD Mangrum. We know CD, right? We know he's kind of a snake. Kind of sits in the grass and all of a sudden he's there, right? He's 13 seconds back right now. But he's logging laps as fast as the leader. I wonder if he ain't saving his car. Thinking maybe save that free repair and then have it for stage 3 tonight. Makes me wonder.
Save it for the chaos, perhaps. I kind of like
absolutely.
the theory.
Makes me wonder because CD's, I'd like to think, we know what CD's capable of, right? He can win races, but I have a tough time believing he's just hanging back there for nothing.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see, what we kind of find out later on. But yeah, definitely a perceptive eye from you there, Jared. And again, you'd be more familiar with that being like right in the foxhole with him week after week as well. So
yeah, it just makes you wonder. That's not CD like, right?
Very.
Just hang back. Well, we got a fight for 5th. There, we got 3 really good drivers here. John Williams still hanging in there.
Yeah, let's get to a proper camera angle here to be able to show that. There we go. And I mean, yeah, you want to talk about guys like you're talking about what CD Mangrum was doing as we're into lap 36 of 105. It's almost reminiscent of what your blue collar racing teammate Scott Bailey often does, or occasionally does, I should say. Being able to sort of manage the race in the first part and then always sort of be able to find himself toward the head of the field when it matters.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. He might be playing the invert game here. He might be rolling on a 10 invert. Put him right to the front.
That's also a distinct possibility here as well. Grab himself a segment win there whenever the time comes, as Blake Thronberg is 2 laps away from doing just that in this opener, with Ty Higginbotham about 3/4 of a second, make that roughly 8/10 back now.
All right, boys, final lap of segment 1.
Indeed so.
Mario Urcolani hanging in there in that first stage. Impressive.
Yeah, great run from him to stick around in 3rd, like you say. But we're talking about P3. Let's talk about car 3 here. As Blake Thronberg comes around, he's going to go ahead and take segment 1 of tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race. And there is the caution thrown out for it. And luckily we didn't need any for incidents here. So smooth start from the field here, we got to say, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. You couldn't have asked for anything better. I'll be interested to see what stage 2 brings. It's only going to ramp up from here.
So what the guys are going to do is pit road's going to be open. If anyone takes it, they can take it. They'll fall back in line, and then we will do the random invert.
All right, that seems like as good a time as any to hear from tonight's race sponsor and also our title sponsor for the series this year, Valvoline Instant Oil Change, because this is the Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race within the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series Season 7. And as mentioned, presented by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. So stay with us. Well, we'll stay for the pit stops. We'll make sure that we've got that sorted out. And once they're starting to get back into formation, shall we say, we'll kind of figure things out from there. As it looks like, yeah, Thronberg's going to beat Higginbotham out of pit lane. So,
yeah, the one downside about North Wilkesboro, that pace car does not go slow. You do not have much time. You get your 4 tires and you get out. And how about that?
Random invert, 10 positions.
10 positions. Who does that give the first place to?
That guy, P1.
1 C.D. Mangrum. How about that?
Indeed so. So, again, now that
All right, I'm going to mute here to reorder the field.
All right, so yeah, Corbin's going to go ahead and do the reorder. Now we're going to do that quick shuffle off to our ad for our title and race sponsor. We'll be back in about 30 seconds, and we'll get segment 2 underway. You're watching the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series live on the E-Motorsports Network YouTube channel. Stay with us.
Good morning, Philip. Time for an oil change. Remember last time?
I'd rather not.
Took 3 hours. You forgot Little Henry's video game. You're not as entertaining as a video game, Philip.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Get an expert oil change in about 15 minutes with no appointment needed.
Thanks for coming in.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
All right, folks, we are back here for the beginning of segment 2 of tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race. Jordy Carraher joined by Jared Ireland and Corbin McCauley. And Jared, again, a couple of differences here in segment 2 as we'll go ahead and get everybody graded up. So you talked at length about it there as we were going to break, the fact that our field to begin stage 2 is, an inversion of how segment 1 ended. And again, that will have C.D. Mangrum at the head of the field. So, and could that be a bit of a stroke of genius here for the 1, in your opinion?
Boy, he sure looks like it right now, doesn't he? I can't help but think that, you never want to say that was planned, right? But man, it sure went in his hand. And so, I think we are about to see, you want to talk about chaos. We're going to see it right here. This is going to be, hey, strap in, folks. You're about to see 5 laps of nothing but insanity.
All right, boys, we're going green this lap.
All right, so yeah.
Bring it on.
Not a whole lot changing there from segment 1 to segment 2. Just 35 laps instead of 40. For this one, and again, no eliminations to worry about, so it's pretty much just a straight sprint for our field here as we're about to get things off and running again. C.D. Mangrum in control of the field, Justin Belmonte on his outside. That's an electric start, and look at the 1 getaway.
Yeah, caught Justin napping there.
Yeah, not something.
Yeah, cold tires here. Tires coming up to temperature. Easy to spin it out here. Got to be careful.
Absolutely. And yeah, when you say caught Justin Belmonte napping, that doesn't happen very often, as we see a couple of wall taps out of 4 there in the background. But everybody's...
Yeah, cleaning really loose. Cleaning really loose. Oh, look at this Thronberg in the back. Wow.
everybody pointed in the right direction still. Somehow 3 wide through the turn again. Tomlinson, Thronberg, and Ercolani in there.
Wow. Yeah, throwing haymakers here. It's like watching a modified race. They just have to throw it in there and hope it sticks.
Yeah, who says there's nothing on the line here tonight, right?
Oh, absolutely. Everything but pride. Everything but including pride.
Yeah, so I guess... Geez, that looked like a full-on interstate there coming out of the corner a moment ago. As we see, it looks like Belmonte trying...
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh,
Mercado into the wall.
Yeah, Jose just got loose. That's what we're talking about with these guys really having to push it. Coming off of turn 4, it looked like he just was trying to get all he could, and around he went.
And let's see if we can go ahead and fire up a replay of that. Maybe.
Yep.
Not-
Accordion effect.
Yeah, I think... Did I go back too far, perhaps? Or did it go at all? Not 100% sure on that. Yeah, it didn't trigger replay whenever I asked for it. I do see Tomlinson dipping into pit lane, though.
Yeah, I'm looking at the... Ercolani might have gotten a little bit, but Jose's got quite a bit of rear damage. Mason's got, splitter damage. They're gonna have to take that fast repair.
Yeah, again, a different wrinkle here tonight to have that fast repair in play. Normally, something like that happening, a lot more punitive. So, from your view as a driver there, Jared, like knowing you have that in your back pocket, even in an environment like this, do you think that more or less enables you to take a few more chances?
Yeah, here's the thing. You got to remember, right? You got to have the respect of the guys around you.
Yeah.
So I would have a tough time tonight just going in, guns blazing, saying, good luck. Well, sucks to be you. You shouldn't have been there. Because here's the thing. I got to still race you next week. These guys don't forget. We have minds of elephants. And so you got to be respectful of the guys. So, yeah, you can take risk. Absolutely. But just know, you have a 10-race chase coming. Is the risk tonight worth a problem with 2 races to go?
Yeah, you got to be thinking big picture here always. And very insightful analysis there as well as we bring it back to head of the field where we'll find CD Mangrum once more.
Just hearing there that Mason Tomlinson used this fast repair. Sounds like he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, we were wondering about that. We did see him dip into pit lane after being
sounded unintended. Sounded like he did not want to do that. Was hoping he could repair it, but it is what it is now.
Indeed so. And
it's like we're coming to green.
Yeah, we're back at the head of the field. And again, the thing about North Wilkesboro being a short track, like if you take that repair time, you're going to find yourself even more laps down here than normal as Mangrum with another good getaway.
Yeah.
And
ooh,
look
John
at Williams.
Look at that. Yeah, aggressive move. Cut the nose off Marini, said, I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, what you were just saying about, maybe file that one away for later. No harm, no foul in that instance, but yeah, you never know when that might come back around.
Nope. Yep. Just means he doesn't have to cut you a break later.
Absolutely, as Mangrum continues to lead this one, gap up to about half a second already off the restart. So again, Belmonte getting great, or Mangrum, excuse me, getting great jumps there as we saw Tomlinson getting loose there out of 4.
Yep. I'm watching Ty Higginbotham back here. Very calculated. Knows he has a good car, just taking care of it. As you can see, Thronberg, he's being very aggressive.
Yeah.
Really trying to get through the pack here.
Segment.
Oh, there he goes. He's around.
Yeah, there we go. We see the end result of it.
But he keeps it going. Yep. Kept it. Didn't get full enough sideways to trigger that iRacing caution. Onward we go.
Indeed so, as we bring it back to the head of the field with CD Mangrum still leading this one. No, what I was going to say right before that incident happened was in Ty Higginbotham's case, a lot easier to keep the car clean when you're at the head of the field. It's obviously different wrinkle here with the inversion to begin segment 2.
Yep. And now
From what
because
I
of
can
that,
tell-
he's at the back.
Sorry,
go ahead.
from what I can tell, this track seems really, really track position oriented. Wherever you start seems to be where you're going to be.
Yeah, and it's sketchy. Very sketchy. You got to be so careful off the turn.
And
If the guy that you're trying to get by does not want you to go by, you better be ready to use the door. And it's only going to get worse as we get later in this race.
And yeah, I mean, the only thing that kind of stays the same is that everything's changing. However, the track conditions not changing. They've dropped 1 degree Fahrenheit to this point. Currently reading 75. Everything else pretty much remains equal to this point as we've just passed the midway mark of the overall picture of tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star race here at North Wilkesboro. CD Mangrum continues to lead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I know you were talking earlier about, well, what I wanted to say is just what I'm noticing. Look at the field and how they're spread in this second segment. We're seeing a lot of guys feeling more comfortable in the car, and we're seeing that 4 guys under a blanket for the lead here as Kalinian goes to the inside for third.
Indeed, he does, trying to pick off John Williams there, and he's successfully done so. Oh, a little loose out of 4, though.
The 60's working on Mangrum.
Indeed,
Working
so
on
as
him.
Williams trying to come back on Kalinian here, perhaps. Battle of 2 North Carolinians.
Mangrum up the hill. Belmonte getting a good run off of 4. He's going to be close.
Yeah, let's head right
Not
back
quite.
to that lead battle.
He's got a good run. Can he make it stick? Yeah, he does.
Indeed, yeah, diving down the inside is Belmonte, and coming through 4, that is a lead change, folks.
Yeah, very respectful from CD. Really not trying to push the issue, but still staying on his right rear. Not quite clear yet. Being respectful.
Oh, and that's the thing about North Wilkesboro. Even though it's a short track, it still seems like there's enough room to be able to operate respectfully without,
Yep.
having to get into the
look
grills, so to speak.
Look at Kalinian. Look at that. Really big diamond of the corner there to get to the inside of Mangrum.
Yeah, I think I'm realizing this in real time. I think you might be like a second ahead of me here, as Mangrum really running high on these corners here as well. I wonder if something's up with the 1.
Yeah. Maybe that car's going away from him a little bit. Possible.
Could be. As
Looks like the way he's entering the corner, it almost seems like he's using a lot of that right front tire, and that could be why he's pushing so tight.
Yep.
yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on here.
Gordy, go back to Kalinian. We're gonna need to focus on his line in 1 and 2. Look at this line.
Yep.
Let's see if he does this. He opens the corner really early, turns it straight down. Look at him up by the wall. Gonna turn it down right here. Look at this line.
Yeah, there it is.
That is
Straight
a
off
thing
the
beauty.
corner. Yeah, that is a diamond right there. That's beautiful.
And it's
And funny
pinning
enough,
the
you
white
would
line
think-
in 3 and 4.
You would think the diamond line would hurt your tires, but a lot of tracks, the diamond line is actually a good way to save your tires while also making up a lot of ground.
Yeah, look at that. He has such a better run than anyone else off of 2. And it even helps 3. Now he's going to diamond 3 and 4. Let's see what this will do. Got to be more careful here. A little more banking. Yeah, look at that. Immediately got a little loose.
And for the geographically inclined here on the broadcast, again, we've referenced Jordan Kalinian being from Salisbury, North Carolina, about give or take a oh dear, Belmonte with an issue there. Kalinian now up into the lead.
Yeah, Kalinian got into his left rear a little bit, just a little bit. But look who's showing up. The Wrangler, number 3 himself. Here we go.
Look at that, 2 North Carolina guys on a legendary North Carolina track, and it looks like Thronberg, I thought he was going to get him on the inside. Mike threw 1 and 2. But
The best part of all this, look who's waiting in the wings, the 5.
Another North
Remind you, too,
Carolinian.
that Blake Thronberg started near dead last in this segment.
Yep. Thronberg to
Oh,
lead.
Kalinian loose out of 4.
Up traffic coming up here. Could make a difference.
Well, yeah, if you're throwing dirty air into the equation, trying to make those passes as well. And, geez, how about Williams potentially having a look on the inside of Kalinian?
Kalinian's loose. He's really losing that right rear.
He'd be putting a lot of throttle into that car on corner exit with the way he was diming in the car, so it wouldn't surprise me if that right rear's toast.
Yeah. Watch him off of 4 here. He's really loose.
Yeah, we are.
He's asking a lot. Yeah, he's got a little bit.
Yeah, we're locked in on this trio of North Carolinians still here. And yeah, John Williams trying to make a move past Jordan Kalinian, which brings me back to a question I was going to ask you a little bit earlier, Jared. Yeah, these kind of exhibition or offshoot races, they're a different animal, but you know, for a guy like John Williams, perhaps heading into the chase, do you still see this as maybe a statement of intent for what he could be capable of over the next couple months?
I think John has shown flashes, right? He's had a few places where he's really shown what he can do. And I think it's just been more of a struggle of consistency for John. And so, yeah, absolutely. I mean, going into the chase, a night like tonight, racing around a bunch of really good drivers, showing them what you're capable of, keeping the nose clean, importantly. Guys give you a lot of respect out there when you show them that you can pass them cleanly and keep your nose clean. So, yeah, absolutely a huge night.
And so we're coming up on the closing stages of segment 2 and trying to remember, yeah, we're adding, what laps get added to stage 3? Because we did have that one incident caution earlier in this segment.
We won't be adding any laps. Nope, that's, we'll be going right to 105.
Right on. Meaning we are 2 laps away from the end of segment 2 and potentially Blake Thronberg sweeping both.
A big battle for 4th on the final lap here.
All right, let's lock in on, briefly anyway, Justin Belmonte and Mason Tomlinson. Looks like Belmonte has the hold for now, but we'll head to the start-finish line. We'll get everyone as they're coming across. Blake Thronberg with the sweep. And
I think Belmonte got it.
Yeah, I do too. We just got to that as they were crossing the line. And
24 hundredths of a second.
Yeah, the leaderboard tells your story right now. And again, Blake Thronberg sweeps the 2 segments here to begin the Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race. Again, notable this time around in that he did, in fact, have to drive through the field in order to make it happen. So certainly an impressive performance over the last 35 laps for the 3. As
biggest thing to take away from that, he's got both segments. So Jordan Kalinian right on the front row with him.
Yeah, a little control alt
As you see him
defeat
now.
competition.
Yep, as you see them now, that is how they'll restart the final stage.
And that, geez, that won't be a fun 30 laps or anything now, will it?
Oh, goodness.
As we're getting everyone coming into pit lane for another service here. As, again, I'm trying to make it.
We had six drivers within 2 seconds of the lead there. I mean, you can't ask for anything more at a short track.
And right on cue, they almost come out together, the 3 North Carolinians that time. But yeah, Thronberg, well, I mean, the order's set anyway, so it doesn't necessarily matter how they come out. But still, should be a very interesting start to segment number 3 here. And we'll get everyone kind of reconnected, reconvened here, regridded, shall we say, as we see Thronberg getting lined up behind the pace car. Again, this is a good opportunity for us to step aside and once again shout out our title and race sponsor for the evening, as coverage of the Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race as part of the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series Season 7 continues on the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR or YouTube channel, excuse me. So stay with us. We'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Good morning, Philip. Time for an oil change. Remember last time?
I'd rather not.
Took 3 hours. You forgot little Henry's video game. You're not as entertaining as a video game, Philip.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Get an expert oil change in about 15 minutes with no appointment needed.
Thanks for coming in.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
All right, we're back now for segment 3 of tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race, and it'll be Blake Thronberg leading them off the line after winning the previous 2 segments. But segment 3, as you can see, produces a bit of a different bear as well. So segment 1 and 2 winners earn front row starting spots. Thronberg wins both, so by default, next best finisher, Jordan Kalinian, will start on his outside, and rest of the lineup determined by the finishing order in segment 2. And it's pretty much a 30-lap sprint here to the end tonight. And now, Corbin, this all-star caution set by random draw, what are we going to do here? Alrighty then, so there you have it, folks. Even I'm not aware as the pace car is going to do its dramatic dive as it always does. And yeah, unlimited green-white checkers here in segment number 3, meaning we will have a finisher, but in order to finish, you got to start. And here goes Blake Thronberg, but Jordan Kalinian gets a great jump on the outside. And Williams hanging around. Oh, Belmonte sideways. Yeah, and you were talking about this during the commercial break as well, Jared. You were thinking that something was going to happen in the first couple laps here. Just a little bit of an issue there for Belmonte, but overall, everyone's still pointed in the right direction. Oh, shoot, I think you're muted. Sorry about that, Jared. Your Discord's back on here again.
Hey.
Yeah,
gotta hear my lovely voice.
You're good now. So yeah, let's reiterate.
Yeah, Mason, what a save! Wow, 10 out of 10.
And you 1,000,000% thought that he might be someone to watch off of the restart there, as Belmonte has an issue again.
I'm focused in on this lead, man. Look at this. The 3 guys from earlier, right under a blanket.
Yeah, everybody's still trying to catch Blake Thronberg here right now. Lead about 3.5 tenths over Jordan Kalinian. John Williams not going away, though. As you say, 3 within a second of each other. Half a second now.
Yeah. And if you're Jordan, you're just trying to learn, what is Blake doing that is so good, right? What can I learn from this moment to try to attack him with? The 3, he looks so stout.
And now you talk about learning, and this is something you can speak to as well, being in the team dynamic. How much harder is it to figure out once it's, a quote-unquote teammate that's ahead of you that you're trying to figure out? Someone that you'd be working with on strategy, potentially leading up.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't tell you how many races this year my teammates and I mean, the reason I did so well at Phoenix is we shared notes, right? So you can't help but think before the race, these 2 guys were talking about what was working well, whether it been with a, maybe a steering pinion or a brakes. And so, yeah, it's really, really hard. As John Williams is he's legit tonight. Look at this.
He's legit, and yeah, he might be fancying second place here as Kalinian continues to run that high line we were noting in segment 2. Yeah,
iRacing, that has the especially North Wilkesboro with this repave has the progressive banking. And so if John can make it stick, he can do a lot of good work down there on the bottom. But Jordan, with a little bit higher angle of the pavement on the top side, can really get a good run off of 4.
And there you see it again as we go on to lap 85, which puts us, or lap 86, excuse me, which puts us at 20 laps to go.
97. That 97 is smelling blood in the water.
just saying that, yeah, or just thinking that as well. As again, we mentioned earlier, tonight's pole sitter, last time he won a race for points was right here at North Wilkesboro. So a guy who knows his way around the circuit, and you know,
right rear John.
a guy.
Looks like Ty. Ty looks like he's trying to get on the right rear John right here. If he can get that done, I think he'll get the pass.
And truthfully, if we're going to go geographical, another guy that's, you know, at one point was considered another North Carolinian. So really something in the water.
He's
here.
a Kansan.
Oh,
He's a Kansan.
Now, yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. He's a Kansan.
Well,
just like me.
I mean, we bill him from Missouri, but I know Kansas City kind of splits the border. So
absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's all fair. We can definitely alter the branding, shall we say.
If you had the golden button, wouldn't now be a good time for a caution?
You would sure think so, right?
I'm just thinking, because if I were the man holding the button, I think I'd want the guys to think about tires.
I mean,
do I stay out? Do I come in?
In sight.
Just thinking here. We're seeing about 5/10. We've seen about 4 or 5 tenths of fall off so far.
I love the borderline enabling that's happening here in real time. It's fantastic.
Just thinking, if I was a driver, right, and a yellow came out, it would be a really hard decision. If I'm Blake Thronberg, I think I'm staying out. I need that clean air. But if I'm Mason Tomlinson, you put 4 Goodyears on. Let's see what happens.
Or, as Tomlinson referred to a couple of times in our post-race chat last week, 2.
Oh, yeah. 2-tire Timmy. It could work. Man, we got a heck of a fight for third here.
Yeah, let's go right back to that. Ty Higginbotham trying to slide past John Williams, and he has.
I think he's got him. Yeah, he's got him now. John was doing a valiant effort.
And I mean, again, once this all-star caution comes out, whenever that may be, not even a wink, wink, nudge, nudge in that case, we just genuinely don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see how long John Williams can hang on for at that point and whether he's got a response. As we'll dip back to our battle for 6th momentarily. Mike Marini and CD Mangrum as Marini into the wall. It's going to allow Mangrum through and Mercado as well.
Mason Tomlinson running some really good lap times. Fastest car on the track. Oh, okay,
Here we go.
All right, here we go. So we're going to have 10 to go.
Yes, take me through it.
If I'm Blake Thronberg, I don't think I can give up that lead. I just don't think I can do it. I think, but the thing is, if you're Blake Thronberg, I think you're hoping on 4 guys, right? You need 4 guys to stay out with you. If I'm Jordan Kalinian, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing whatever Blake Thronberg doesn't do.
Absolutely in there. Oh, there
it is.
Sold the dummy.
There it is. Yep, there it is. What's he got behind him?
That's a lot of people pitting.
There is only going to be 2 cars staying out. I'm not going to say they're sitting ducks, but you would have wanted another car behind you if you were Blake Thronberg that stayed out with you.
Yeah, well, it's obviously a little bit of a different variable with a smaller field here as well. Not as many to worry about, but still, you know, there's the lion's share of the pack is doing something.
The dynamic of this restart's going to be like this. Blake and Ty, they have a cycle on the tires. So I would expect them to fire off pretty good and not have to worry about the looseness or the worry that you're going to have to see out of like guys like Jordan and John with tires trying to come up to pressure. So they may not have that issue. But then after 4 or 5 laps, it's going to be really hard. It's going to be really tough.
Something of note as well, which is pretty huge. Jordan, Mason, John, CD, and Mario took 2 tires, while it looks like Jose, Justin, and Mike took 4.
Yeah, with the cooler temperatures, the left sides may not be wearing. And then just for the sake of track position, right? If you're Jordan, you take 4 there, you're going to come out 8th. So it's all about that right front.
And again, there's only, so much you can do with once we get to the restart here, 10 laps to go.
This is going to be electric. I can't wait. You got a hungry dog up front. Hasn't won much in a while. Maybe I'm wrong. Doesn't feel like he's won a lot recently. Doesn't want to give it up with a bunch of hungry dogs behind him.
Hungry dogs who did something where they didn't.
Let's go.
All right, all eyes on Blake Thronberg now as he's got control of the field. And he takes off, takes kind of a tighter run through 4. And hanging off him sideways.
Way to hang on to it. Wow.
But that's going to allow Blake Thronberg to get away.
Mason Tomlinson in a good spot here.
Yeah, let's not count the 4 out. He had it on rails at Chicagoland last week.
Let's see the tire temps. All right, now we got a good shot at it here. What are we gonna see?
And
let's see the lap time. Sorry.
Indeed, and yeah, we'll see how Thronberg does in
Marine
clean
went
air
around
here.
in the back stretch, but he kept it straight.
All right. 18.5 to an 18.4. He's got a 10th there. He's going to need more than that.
Yeah,
He really needs Blake to heat up them tires and start falling off back to the 18.8s.
Yeah, almost needing a bit of a slip here from the 3, which seems like it would
18.4 to an 18.3. Another 10th.
Yeah. At that pace, you'd be looking at probably 2/10 here
John
at the
Williams
end.
around the back.
And
that is what
there's a
you don't
caution.
want to see. You did not want to see that if you were Blake Thronberg.
Absolutely not. And we go again. And yeah, we're going to temporarily freeze the board here to see if I can get a replay of what befell the 5. Don't know if that's going to work, though, because I think probably a fundamental issue with that timing screen window is going to affect replays, if I had to guess.
See if I can find it here.
On we go again.
Oh, just got loose. Jordy.
And
Trying to get all he can off of 2, and he just lost it.
And ended up within pit lane, if I'm not mistaken.
It's going to cause some heartaches. Don't think Blake Thronberg will be sending John Williams a Christmas card for that one.
Yeah, maybe not quite a... no Tobacco Road congeniality there between those two.
All right, so we're going to get a restart. No caution laps now, reminding you at home. 5 to go? Plenty of time.
Not to mention unlimited green-white checkers if something happens later.
The only advantage, besides Blake being very good, is the element of the restart. If Mason can time this up and get alongside him, it's going to make it really hard on Blake.
And this, I think, is where you might see the tire discrepancy come into play a little bit more, if that's the case.
If you're Mason, you've got to anticipate. You've got to anticipate this. But if you're Blake, I mean, the longer you wait, the harder you make it on yourself. I think you got to go the second you enter the zone.
Yeah, can't leave anything to chance here, I don't think. And we're going to find out soon enough because you see the lights are off on the pace car. We're going green next time around.
We're not done yet.
Not a chance. As the pace car dives off. Again, all eyes back to Blake Thronberg at the head of the field. And there's the line. There he goes.
Right at the start of the zone.
And Thomason does go with him, though, and he'll have the inside line. Oh, sideways, though.
Yep. That's allowed Kalinian into second.
Jeez, that's not going to be a fun battle at the end, is it?
Oh, man.
2 title contenders.
Oh, man. Yeah, these guys are really giving it all they got.
And how about CD Mangrum trying to sneak in for second here, potentially? Mario Ercolani in the mix as well. But will they have
really
enough
trying to
time?
time in the corner. Blake's just too strong tonight, man. He's so good.
Yeah, down to 3 to go in this one as soon as the board changes. There we go. And that leads up to about 0.6 of a second over his Control-Alt-Defeat teammate Jordan Kalinian. And yeah, it's been
Cleaning in the wall, really trying to give it all.
been a classic performance here from Blake Thronberg, looking for the sweep, and he's about 1.5 miles or a mile now from doing so. He'll see the white flag next time around. And being cautious to take that inside line, he's just run away with it off of this restart. Final lap of tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race here at North Wilkesboro. And, North Carolina, almost fitting to see this livery doing some
they're wrecking
damage.
big on the backstretch.
Something big happening at the front as well. Blake Thronberg takes the Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race as we had, not sure if John Williams was involved, Mike Marini perhaps. We see him in pit lane. But, again, almost fitting given the setting. It's car 3 doing the damage and showcasing its dominance all the way through. Sweeping all 3 segments here, doing it in multiple different ways, as there you see Blake Thronberg getting his celebratory burnouts in. Just a clinic here from the 3 tonight, Jared.
Yeah, I got 2 words to describe that, but I don't think you can say it on air.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just a clinic. I mean, this is Blake at his best. We know what Blake can do. When he shows up week to week with a level head and keeps the nose clean, this guy is really hard to beat.
Yeah, and I mean, a performance like that, I might have another 2 words for you here as well as we head into the chase. Warning shot. This could be a guy who's back, looking to defend.
Yeah. We have so many good drivers that are going to be a problem. I think if you're Jordan after tonight, you're like, okay, thank God that's not in the chase.
This is real now.
Don't got to worry about that one. Yep. But definite going to be a problem if he can bring that every week.
Yeah, that was, again, don't tell these guys a night like tonight doesn't mean anything. You saw absolutely different here tonight. You saw guys pushing, and those extra laps, extra reps could be a good springboard heading into our chase beginning next week as well at Homestead. So I guess before we get into post-race interviews, I'll get your perspective on what you're expecting as we head into the chase next week there, Jared.
Yeah, it's going to be intense. It is. The racing, I feel like as the year's gone on, it's been really picking up. I don't expect that to change 1 ounce. In fact, I expect it to get even more demanding. And when you look at the tracks that we have coming up, Homestead's a tough track. New Hampshire's a tough track. I think Watkins Glen's in there. Bristol. I mean, demanding, tough racetracks that are going to take the mental capacity to be great. It's going to be a monster. The guy that wins this chase is going to earn every single point.
And ultimately, that's what everybody wants at the end of the day, is someone who can show that level of complete driver, I guess would be the best way to put it. And certainly that is a shot across the bow here tonight from Blake Thronberg, winning tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race. So we'll go ahead and do a little bit of a reset here now that the race itself is concluded. We'll hear from our title and race sponsor one more time, and hopefully we'll be able to have a post-race chat with tonight's winner, Blake Thronberg. Again, I'm not sure if we're doing a full top 3. That was never really discussed going in, but yeah, we'll kind of figure it out on the fly as we go along. So once again, you'll hear from our title sponsor and race sponsor here tonight as coverage of the Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race continues. on the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series YouTube channel for the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series Season 7, presented by our friends at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Stay with us.
Good morning, Philip. Time for an oil change. Remember last time?
I'd rather not.
Took 3 hours. You forgot Little Henry's video game. You're not as entertaining as a video game, Philip.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Get an expert oil change in about 15 minutes with no appointment needed.
Thanks for coming in.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
All right, so we are just about set to begin our post-race chat here, and it will just be our winner here this evening. I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. He's a guy we haven't talked to here in a little bit on the E-Motorsports Network NASCAR Series post-race show here, so to speak, but it's great to be able to hear from him again. Our winner of tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race from Graham, North Carolina, representing Control Alt Defeat Motorsports, the defending and reigning Earl Ross Cup champ, Blake Thronberg, joining us. Blake, congratulations.
Thank you, sir. What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, great to be able to chat with you. It's Jordy and Jared in the booth here chatting with you. And, you know, one of the things that we sort of remarked on over the course of the evening was just the way you kind of felt like you had everything under control for the most part, regardless of where you happened to be within the field. You were just more or less able to find your way to the front in every segment, obviously sweeping the evening. So I guess just from your perspective, like what was, working for you in order to kind of have things running as they did?
Yeah, well, big credit to Jordan. We work together and see what's working and what's not. But man, just being a short track guy, really. I mean, kind of lick my chops every time we go to a short track, just because up until this series right here, I didn't even touch an A car. Up until last year when I got into this league, it was just like you said, modifieds, late models, and supers at all the short tracks. And the repave in North Wilkesboro is probably, it might not be my favorite, but it's definitely top 3 as far as tracks on the SAM that I love and enjoy to run. So kind of paid off. Ran a couple laps in the practice session and kind of knew that the bottom in 3 and 4 saved my tires a lot right there. Might not have been as fast as the first like 2 to 3 laps, but I just know if I could run the cut down in 1 and 2 and the car stayed freed up, I know I could get to the bottom in 3 and 4 and just wrap it and easy up off. And man, luckily it worked. So plus it's good to be back in victory lane, even though it wasn't a points paying race, but man, been struggling this season, some unfortunate luck, some penalties and stuff like that. So it's good to be back in victory lane right before the playoffs. Probably get some, a little mode going into the playoffs.
Yeah, before we, get into sort of what lies ahead, like you alluded to it there a second ago. Yeah, it's not a points paying race, but from your perspective, how important was it for you to be able to get that good, clean run underneath you going into the chase, beginning next week?
Yeah, man, looking back on the regular season, I feel like maybe could have won 3 or 4 more races, but man, I stepped on it a couple times. Didn't really race smart. Just didn't really put races together. And just finish out like I did the year before. I guess you would say it was kind of lack of confidence, as the season went on. It's like, when is this luck going to change? When is this luck going to change? As a matter of fact, I was talking to Jordan. I wasn't even planning on running this race. I was like, man, I'm just gonna take a break and get ready to go at Homestead. But I'm glad I did. Just keep grinding it out, man. Just making laps and just trying to learn how these cars, um, react in dirty air and just different situations on the track. But I'm very happy that I ran. Like I said, got a good group of guys that we run with. The people who run the league are awesome. They do a great job. You guys at the broadcast booth, y'all do a great job as well. Just excited to be back and have a chance. And like you said, hopefully go back to back. But just more so, just want to run good every week.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, we saw the kind of end results of what that can look like here tonight. Jared, feel free to join in here.
Yeah, Blake, good job tonight.
Thank you, man.
How do you tell me? You had to come from the back not once, but twice on a track that is known for its chaos on a restart, tires coming up to pressure, car wanting to go around at all times. How do you balance risk and reward as you come through the pack?
Man, really have to be sensitive, like, and careful getting off. Kind of like just stepping on the eggshell, if you would. Which
I
comes,
saw you stepping on it a few times.
yeah, man. And I still like, it's like you run 10, 15 laps and you just get comfortable and you just try to give it that little extra more to get drive. I don't know why I was trying to do that, but man, just seeing how far I could push it and then realizing like the last stage, I was just like, man, I got to keep the same, getting a rhythm, especially the bump coming out of 3 and 4. That's really, really key to have your wheel dead straight before you're 100% back in throttle. And just not really over driving. Because, I mean, these cars, like you said, it's easy to go off in one and run up the hill and then, run the top 2 lanes getting off. But over a period of time, it's just cooking your right front. It doesn't feel like it at first until it's just gone. That's what I feel like in these cars I've learned, especially since the update. Your right front feels there until it doesn't like gradually go away. It feels like for me, it's just an instant drop off. So, I don't really want to tell all my secrets, but I'll tell this
Fair.
one. You can kind of feel the car sit down, like sit in the track and like grip up, right there in the middle, getting in 3 and 4, and that's when if you don't feel that, you're over driving it. So I really were looking for that feel to get in there, and it's like in 1 and 2 as well. As soon as you get up there to the top, that progressive banking, I mean, you'll be able to cut down earlier, but if you could get it woed up and you can kind of feel the car get into the racetrack and drive it straight up off, you know what I'm saying? You could really just make speed over a long period of time. And I feel like I was able to do that tonight, which really paid off at the end.
All right. So a caution comes out with 10 to go. We were talking about this in the booth. I said, if I'm Blake Thronberg, I want 3 guys to stay out because I don't
Right.
want a guy with new tires on my rear.
Right.
Ty's the only one that stays out with you. You got Jordan on your rear. What were you thinking?
Man, I'll be honest with you. Once I got past Jordan in that last stage or last segment they were in, I just really backed it down because I had a feeling whatever if I was in lead, whatever I was going to do, everybody was going to do the opposite, which makes perfect sense. You know why
Exactly
not?
what I said.
Yeah,
I said, if
everybody.
I'm Jordan, I'm doing the exact opposite of Blake.
Yeah, and I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, you got nothing to lose. And then, like I said, you're right. When I seen it was just Ty up there, I knew Ty was quick from earlier in the session, the first session. I mean, segment they were run. So I just, man, to be honest with you, I was just hoping and praying. I asked Jordan what his tires were. He told me. I feel like I maybe had a 1 or 2% better just because I was really just letting it roll and not going full throttle until we was at the finish line or halfway down the backstretch. And I'm gonna be like, I was just hoping and praying. I knew if I hit my line, hit my marks, it was gonna be really hard for them to pass me, given that we only had 10 laps, and it takes about 3 to 4 laps for the new tires to even have an advantage because getting up
Yep.
the temps and all that. But yeah, man, I was really like, I told Jordan, I was like, man, here comes another one. It's gonna slip away. I was like, but I'm gonna be as wide as I could possibly be. Given it was an all-star race, it was no points. No tempers were really going to flare there just because it was basically like an expedition fun race. So yeah, I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, but like I said, and then to be honest with you, I was more worried about the caution with 5 to go. with Mason on my outside because I'm pretty sure I knew he had 4 fresh tires. So I was more worried about that one versus um, like you said, when everybody was on fresh tires. And then I think Mason may have got loose. I just heard some tires squealing behind me. May have got loose behind me on turns 1 and 2 on the restart, and then, like I said, all eyes forward. Then just see if I just erased to the checkered, basically.
Now let's bring it back to that 10 lap to go all-star caution for just a second, because obviously you were like, as Jared was just saying, the idea for anyone else kind of around you was to do the opposite, but it looked like you more or less may have sold a dummy there on Jordan heading into pit lane. So like, was that the decision all the way to stay out and just kind of figure it out from there, or was that like a split second thing?
No, man. It's funny. I asked Jordan. I said, "You taking tires here?" And he didn't say anything, and so I figured that he was. And I was like, "Man, let me just see. Let me ride down here." It was no tires for me from the get go. I mean, one of the first 2 stages, I knew where my tires were at, like you said, as far as percentage wise, and I just knew from then. I was like, "Man, they're just got to beat me on new tires. If I get beat by new tires, oh well. If not, let's just let it rip." So yeah, no, it was nothing there. He knew that I wasn't pitting, and like I said, when he didn't answer right there, I kind of figured that he was going in to take tires. But you know what I'm saying? You just kind of know. You've done this long enough and raced long enough, and you're a leader, and you got 10 laps to go on a short track. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you do it? So yeah, it's cool, man. It was a fun, task to take over, and ended up turning out in my favor. So.
Yeah, 100%. And now the focus, now that we've had our little bit of fun here, now we get back to the real rubber hitting the road next week for the, well, might help if I put the right logo on this. Anyway, the Voodoo 200 begins the season 7 chase for the Earl Ross Cup next week at Homestead, Miami. I already chatted with Jared a little bit about this. Going into this year's playoffs and Homestead specifically to begin, what are your sort of expectations for next week and like the next couple months to follow?
Yeah, man. Well, to be honest with you, I've done no practice this whole season, and that I think that's really what's hindered me through the regular season. So I would definitely be on the sim this Sunday, running laps, getting ready in the session instead of just waiting until the 30-minute session comes up and start, trying to figure out the track then. Um, and just really, man, if it's not top 3, I'm not going to be satisfied for it. I mean, because we know what Jordan's going to do. He's proven it. We know what Jared, Justin, Mario, CD, all those guys are. I mean, at any time, they could be running up front and contending for a win. So, man, I just got to be on it. Can't make any mistakes. And then just hopefully, like I said, good finish after good finish, and we'll see where it takes us. I mean, that's all we really can do and hope for.
Absolutely. And I guess one question that I can pose to both you and Jared here, obviously, the format has changed for this year as well, and that we're, not worrying about eliminations a couple weeks at a time as well. So, question for the both of you here, now that I'm thinking about it, knowing just how locked in you have to be for 8 weeks at a time here. Now, how does that sort of shift the mindset, if at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we all know that there should be a bounty on Jordan's head for the road courses, so we can kind of just take September 28th, and like if he doesn't wreck, you know what I'm saying, it's just one we're going to have to. Not saying we're defeated before we start, but man, my man hasn't lost on a road course, so I mean you got to kind of be on your A game there. So if you're just wanting to do the point stuff, I mean you take that one out, and then another one right before that at Talladega. That's a crapshoot as well. You really don't know. So really have to do these 1.5 miles and New Hampshire and Bristol. I mean, you just really gotta. That's my short track, so that's where I kind of feel like if I don't win those, or what I'm saying, or beat the guys that are in front of me, then it's just really no shot after that. So I mean, really just got to hone in, stage points and finishing. I mean, they all matter, but you just got to be up front, make no mistakes, and just you know give it all you got.
All right, Jared, feel free to jump in on that one.
I don't have much to add. All I'll say is this: it's too competitive. You cannot win this chase with a DNF. It
Yeah,
cannot happen.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you're not, I would just say, sorry, Jared, not to mean to interrupt you. If
No,
you're
you're
not
good.
finishing top 5 to 7 in each one of these races, you're not going to win it. It's you might as well just hang it
Yep.
up because I mean, there's too many competitive guys in this league that are going to.
The only guy that might be good enough to get away with that is Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, because until somebody beats him,
He's
you
not the
can't
lead.
say. Yeah, you can't say
Yep.
he's like you said. You don't ever want to give a win ahead, but just going off, results and stuff in the previous. I mean, you're just going to have to be on your game because he's going to be up there. Bryce is going to be up there. Jared's going to be up there. All the
Bryce will have
guys.
something to say about this for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I mean, I know that we like to be clean and stuff, but I think the guy who puts his elbows up and is just who wants it more really is who's going to get it. Like I said, just over this time period of looking at the schedule and the tracks. I mean, you're just gonna have to go get it. I mean, luck's gonna have to be on your side as well with Talladega. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you're just gonna have to play your cards right, and all the stars are gonna have to align for you to win this championship. But like I said, this league is very prestige and a lot of good guys here.
Yeah, and I mean, you sort of alluded to it already with the kind of elbows out reference. We even saw a little bit of it here tonight in the All-Star race with like the 3, or even I think sometimes maybe there might have even been a 4 wide in there at some point. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jared, but it certainly felt like a bit of a interstate gridlock, shall we say. If that's any indication of what we can expect over the next couple of months, I am looking forward to seeing it all. And again, it begins with the Voodoo 200 at the Homestead Miami Speedway next Monday night, August 31st, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time on the E-Motorsports Network YouTube channel. And again, we're looking at a fantastic 8 weeks of competition here. So yeah, Blake, before we let you take off here, any kind of final thoughts on the evening or kind of what to expect moving forward, like we were talking about before?
Yeah, I mean, just to go off with kind of what me and Jordan talk about. I mean, we're teammates, but hey, we're here for one thing. We're here to win it all. So, I mean, the best thing I could say is leave your feelings outside of your sim seat. Um, just like we said, we're going to man up and just drive these things. Who wants it more is who's going to win it. And that's just the bottom line. Like you said, no hard feelings to anybody. It is just a sim at the end of the day, but this means a lot. A lot of these guys put a lot of time into it, and so you want to win it. And it's the Earl Ross Cup is a cool trophy to have.
All right, we'll see how it all shakes out soon enough. Again, the season 7 chase begins next week, but yeah, tonight we got all the fun and niceties out of the way. So yeah, congratulations once again, Blake, and all the best headed into the season 7 chase.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jared. Thank you,
Yep.
everybody. I
Congrats.
appreciate it. Like I said, thank you, man. Just all the sponsors and stuff: Fat Boy Designs, Control Alt Delete, Curry Speed Shop, CR31 Racing, Thronberg Construction. Just everybody that has a hand in it. Keep my cars looking good and giving me help and testing with me and all that. So thank you, guys. Jordy, y'all do awesome in the booth. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate you taking your time, and God bless everybody. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Blake. And yeah, once again, that was tonight's winner of the Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race, Blake Thronberg, coming through to chat with us post race. Lots of fantastic insight there, particularly once Blake and Jared kind of went back and forth there. It was nice to be able to just sit back and listen. So, yeah, Jared, kind of hearing things from a fellow driver's perspective as it was operating there. How much did you kind of find yourself nodding along or understanding sort of where the kind of mindset was?
Yeah, absolutely. The whole time, really. I definitely could understand a lot of what Blake was saying and where he was coming from, right? I found myself definitely nodding along with a lot of the things that he was saying during the race because I was also seeing that and feeling that as well up here in the booth. And then obviously, where we're headed in the future of the with the chase. I felt very much in the same felt very much the same feelings as well. It's going to be interesting. These next 8 weeks are really going to be something.
Yeah, and like I said, it all begins at Homestead, Miami next week, where things can, be run fairly wide open there on that mile and a
Yeah,
half. So yeah, from
yeah.
your
You want to talk
perspective,
about a tricky track?
hey, go ahead. So I will back off.
Yeah.
You
You know,
roll with
I don't get along with Homestead. I don't understand
it.
why. I don't know what why I can't figure this place out. It's not my favorite. I love it, right? I think it's a driver's paradise because, and the reason is you have three options. Do you want to run the bottom? Do you want to run the top? Do you want to run the middle? Tire conservation's a thing. It's very similar to tonight. We're going to see it next week. You can really lose the car off the corner if you're not careful. And so, a lot of good guys in this league that you don't expect to be good there are really good there. So, I'll be interested to see how it shakes up next week. I could see a couple guys not seeing the end of the race just because they go for it next week. So, track tip's going to do a lot. I don't know what our transition's like, if it'll be day to night or if it'll be like an afternoon. If it's an afternoon race, it might as well be Armageddon. It's going to be so hot. It'll be so slick. So I'll be interested to see what that's like.
I mean, I think now you're just giving the folks putting the sessions together ideas. So you may want to
Oh
keep that one.
goodness.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
doing it, but I'm just saying in
yeah,
general.
yeah. Team not noon start. No thanks. I'm good.
Fair enough. But yeah, we still got 1 week to go now before, like I said before, the rubber hits the road for real. Now that
Let's
we're
let's
into,
be real, Jordy. How many guys can win this thing? Now, let's be real. There's what? 16 guys?
yep,
You've got how many can realistically go out there? Top 10? Like genuine, like there's 9 or 10 guys any week that could show up and win.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Legitimately. Maybe even more. It's more than that, honestly. It's probably 12 to 13 guys can show up in a week and go, "Yep, they could win." How does that look for the next 8 weeks? It's going to be insane.
Yeah, a little bit of desperation coming into play as we progress, perhaps. Of course,
Oh, 100%.
you could speak to that
100%.
better than I could, being within the rig.
Yeah, you're going to see there's going to be some serious I don't know how to describe it, but you're going to see drivers over the next 8 weeks this year make mistakes they have not made all year long. Guaranteed.
And again,
Just because like Blake said they're going for it.
yeah, and I know I asked the question of both you and Blake there during the post race chat. Like, again, how much does the shift in format from like bi-weekly eliminations to just the cumulative 8 race run sort of shift things?
I still think you got to race the racetrack.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, you got to race the guys around you. And I totally get where Blake's coming from there. But I was successful this year off of just racing those guys when it mattered, when it was time, right? I feel like that's why I've had such a good year this year is just by knowing when to race rather than how or
Mm-hmm.
why. So that'll be interesting to see how all of us handle that going into this chase. Um, so if there is a shift in mindset, that's where I will say you will see mistakes. You will see guys make those mistakes based off of, well, I got to have it now. I got to have it. That's where you'll see a mistake.
Yeah, and while we're talking about it, I'm actually going to, if I can get it set up properly, the live stream will be seeing this happen in real time. Just gonna throw up our standings going into the chase as we begin next week. And in sixth place, there we find one Jared Ireland after our point reset, beginning 45 points back of leader Jordan Kalinian, with Blake Thronberg a further 5 points back in seventh. So I know you were talking about more or less just making sure you're racing the track. Do you have a couple of tracks from your perspective, like that you'd be looking at as, hey, these are real opportunities for me to be able to make up ground here on this early deficit?
Yeah, it's really hard to say because everyone's so good there. You know, I'm kind of a mile and a half merchant, right? So
Hmm.
I think I have to look at Texas. Yep, I can go get that one, 100%. I could go get that race. I think I could go get Michigan. The problem with Michigan is can we get spread out to where it matters? Because Michigan is kind of a quasi Daytona, right?
Yep.
Um, anything can happen at Dega. I think Auto Club I can probably go do really well. But the other 5, man, I don't know. I struggle. Homestead's not my style. I do well at Bristol, but man, there's some really good guys there. Anything can happen. New Hampshire is kind of a hitter. We haven't raced there in this league, so that's kind of a unicorn. What's that going to be? I don't know. I don't know what that'll be. So it'll be if it were me, I got to go get Michigan and Bristol. If I don't get those ones, it's going to be a tough go. But I
Yeah.
mean, you just said it. 45 points back. I mean, Jordan earned that, right?
Yes.
That's steep. That's hard. That's a race to go get him. That's a full race. So he's got a big advantage.
Yeah, 25 even to Justin Belmonte there in second. So yeah, as you say, it's a lot for anyone kind of further down the chase field to
Yep,
overcome, but there's a reason
yep.
why we
And he's
race,
earned
right?
every minute. Yep, he's earned every point. He's earned that right to have that lead.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this all shakes out, like I said. And, you know, now that we've sort of had tonight in the bag here, so to speak, I'm ready for things to get competitive again. So, yeah, looking forward to the start of the chase for the Euro Ross Cup. And Jared, thank you for being in the booth here with me tonight for the All Star race, and all the best in this 2 month long chase here moving forward.
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm shooting for a top 5. If I can be top 5 on the year with my hand, how this is, that'd be great. So that's what I'm gonna shoot. But
Can I
thank you for
rudely
having me,
jump
my
in?
man.
Yes, Corbin,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I have some breaking news.
Go for it.
Um,
breaking news,
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
breaking
I
news.
have discovered a huge thing that will help us broadcasts with yourself and everyone involved. I have determined that it is a possibility. I'm going to keep working on it, see what I can make happen, but it is a possibility that we will have live championship point standings available as an overlay in the broadcast graphics.
You mean I don't have to have a Google sheet on standby anymore?
I'm telling you that ATVO will calculate everything for you in the middle of a race and change actively as positions are changing on the racetrack.
Oh, that would be
That's fantastic.
fantastic. That's what I've been waiting a couple of years to hear.
It'll change championship positions as positions are changing. Like I said, you'll also be able to bank the stage points automatically, so it'll automatically pull the top 10 and add the points to them, so that that'll update live during the race. So not only will you be able to see the points as they were before the race started, you'll be able to see what the points unofficially are after the race, as well as see what they're looking like in the middle of the race as well.
Well, not just race control, folks. Corbin McCauley is our coding ninja for our overlays as well. So, a man with many hats, and yeah, looking forward to seeing how that one turns out, especially, with some time to refine it as well with the Labor Day week off after our opening round of the chase. So, we'll be able to really dial it in at that point. But yeah, looking forward to seeing all of that.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll bank the 1 point for getting the pole, and it'll automatically bank the 1 point for whoever currently has the fastest lap of the race as well. So it's going to be something that'll be huge to have during Auto Club at the end of the season. So yeah, it's obviously everything calculated in the middle of the race is unofficial. It'll be official as it's uploaded to Sim Racer Hub. But yeah, I think it's something that's been much needed for a while now, and it's going to add a lot of variability. And even if drivers are watching the broadcast as they're racing, it might make them a little more eager to get a couple spots.
Yeah, I mean, that leaves nothing to chance there effectively. There's no no knowledge gap, so to speak, in knowing what you need to do if you have that in your ear. So yeah, looking forward to having that into play here as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's a lot of arithmetics to get this going, but we're gonna try to figure it out. And so far so good. I've already actually I just learned tonight too that Sim Racer Hub actually has a export tool that literally lets you export every race result and every point gained during the season. So that's a huge help as well.
Yeah, almost to steal from Jared a little bit earlier, like I'm excited and there are words I could say to convey my excitement, but I don't think I can say them on the broadcast. So that's a kind of common theme running through the evening, but yeah, looking forward to seeing how all of that works and just yeah, being able to refine everything here. That way we can provide all of our fine viewers and supporters of the Motorsports Network with the most up-to-date information as soon as we possibly can. So yeah, I think that's probably a good jumping off point for us. Again, Jared, thank you for joining me in the booth here this evening. It was nice to have a voice to kind of bounce off of over the course of the evening. Ditto for you, Corbin.
Thank you,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
Yeah, great to have a little bit of a dialogue going. And, next week, it'll be the drivers doing the talking as the start of the chase for the Season 7 Earl Ross Cup begins at Homestead, Miami with the Voodoo 200. Once again, 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time is our jumping off point on the E-Motorsports Network YouTube channel. So for, again, my pals in the booth here tonight, Jared and Corbin, again, usually race control as well, everyone on the competition committee, all the drivers, supporters, sponsors, we'd like to thank you for tuning into tonight's Valvoline Instant Oil Change All-Star Race. My name's Jordy Carraher. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Now it gets serious, folks. The next couple of months are going to be fun. Don't you dare miss anything.
Good morning, Philip. Time
Hi,
for
Jordy.
an oil change. Remember last time?
I'd rather not.
Took 3 hours. You forgot Little Henry's video game. You're not as entertaining as a video game, Philip.
Silence your oil change anxiety at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Get an expert oil change in about 15 minutes with no appointment needed.
Thanks for coming in.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.